Delighted to be presenting on securing the hybrid office for today and tomorrow. In particular, I'm going to look at our hybrid future. What does it mean? The challenges it brings. Talk about the hyper-distributed enterprises that we find ourselves managing and protecting. How do we secure them? And lastly, talking about the must-have internet access protections that underpin this hybrid future. It's clear that our work environments have changed forever due to the pandemic. This is something we should embrace, but also ensure that this new way of working is secure and delivers a consistent experience for everyone. For me personally, I don't miss the 4-hour round trip into the office. However, I do miss the personal interaction with friends and colleagues. I'm looking forward to returning into a hybrid way of working. So what is hybrid working? Hybrid working includes working from home, mixture of working from home and office working, full working in the office, part-time working, job sharing, compressed hours, non-standard hours. The workforce has changed and it's demanding a new way of working from us. This map on the screen is from the most recent ONS survey on working practices and those who have indicated that they regularly work from home. You can see London is the highest percentage in the UK. The numbers are slightly lower for Scotland, Northern Ireland and Wales. They're lower still for those that sit within rural areas of the United Kingdom. Now, working from home is particularly prevalent in industries such as IT and communications, with around 80% saying that they regularly work from home. In the future, around 85% of the workforce are looking for flexible working, not just home working, but there's a degree of uncertainty around returning to the office, which some of you may see for yourself. Critical to me though, however, is that it's essential that the user experience is the same no matter if working in a corporate headquarter, branch office, at home or on the go. So what are the key challenges this presents? Hybrid working presents a much larger threat landscape. We've got the corporate headquarter, the branch, third-party BYOD, home workers and users on the go. A huge increase in software as a service, such as Office 365, but alongside traditional database and data center based services. Large resilience in home broadband, consumer routers. As users access networks and applications outside the perimeter firewall, your organization's attack surface expands. Broad network access increases the risk of lateral movement and can lead to a breach. Supporting secure access for unmanaged and BYOD devices becomes challenging. We're seeing a 45% in cyber attacks at Checkpoint since the shift to remote working, with the top attack vectors being data loss at 55%, phishing 51%, and account takeover at 44%. These figures speak to the need to implement data loss prevention for internet and cloud access by remote users, so the same level of data protection is deployed within and outside the office. Intrusion prevention systems and real-time anti-phishing engines are critical to preventing phishing attacks and account takeovers, ensuring that all clicked links are inspected and that corporate credentials are not reused in non-work accounts. Routing all internet and cloud-based traffic back to the on-prem data center for security and inspection causes congestion, latency, downtime for our users, and it's just no longer appropriate for our hybrid workforce. Providing secure performant services to BYOD and third-party contractors remains both an operational and security challenge. Recent Checkpoint survey found that 45% of respondents were concerned with scaling of performance, 42% with ensuring privacy, and 40% with managing BYOD. The move to remote work means all resources are accessed remotely. Performance issues, latency 67%, instability and application crashes at 66%, VPN-related issues at 62%, were identified as the top 3 most common reasons for help desk calls and support tickets in regards to remote access. Needless to say, security and networking infrastructure not adapted to remote work may well lead to traffic congestion and poor user experience. That traditional hub and spoke model of network architecture that routes all traffic back to the on-prem data center for inspection is difficult to scale, adversely impacting network performance and connection speeds. Now, given the proliferation of cloud-based services and software as a service, 66% of respondents have started to use some cloud-based security services, and 61% are considering its adoption. Now more than ever, cloud security services facilitate this transition to a hybrid, remote and branch workforce. With users working anywhere, anytime, cloud-based services help organizations improve performance and availability on a global scale. And with applications themselves moving to the cloud, the need to secure them with on-premise engines is fast becoming obsolete. From reduced administration overhead to OpEx pricing, cloud services offer numerous efficiencies from a management perspective. In 2019, Gartner published research on the future of network security and concluded that consolidation of networking and security as a service capabilities into a cloud-delivered secure access service edge, which they called SASE, was the future. Most security and network professionals will be familiar with the concept of SASE, but up until now, few have implemented it. So our applications are distributed everywhere. We've got hyper-distributed enterprise. We've got data centers, public cloud, software as a service. We're connecting from corporate, branch, home, on the go, using a myriad of devices, BYOD, third party, DevOps, Macs, Windows, Linux, tablets, anytime, anywhere. This is the new norm. COVID hasn't forced this upon us. However, it's certainly accelerated this. However, this desire to work differently with its vast attack surface brings increased risk. For example, branches that rely on hardware are constrained due to changing access patterns, compute power, and costly refresh cycles. Our technical resource constraints are prevalent. No organization has the capacity and the capability to manage the myriad of point-to-point devices, management dashboards with associated logging and alerting. So what should we do? How do you secure a distributed hybrid enterprise? What should you implement? Where do you start? For enterprises that attempt to build their own security stack out of disparate vendors and cloud offerings, stitching together will lead to an inconsistent management and enforcement, poor performance and expensive deployments. And this should be avoided. I would focus on consolidation and simplification. Build a migration plan from legacy on-prem solutions into the cloud. Prioritize secure internet access, which I'm just about to talk about. Hardware refresh cycles can help define timescales. Zero Trust can replace legacy VPNs. However, vendor consolidation is essential for reducing complexity and ensuring this is cost effective. Now, if we have a look at the must-have internet access protections, the number one I would say is malware prevention. With 10,000 new malicious files discovered online every day, your secure internet access solution should inspect every file a user downloads for browsing the internet. That'll include Word documents, PDFs, XAs, zip files, GIFs, JPEGs. The optimal solution should scan every web download for malware, both known and unknown, in a contained cloud-based environment like a sandbox. And it should offer content disarm and reconstruction CDR capabilities to maintain user productivity. Once a user downloads a malicious file, bots can be used for command and control around a compromised device. Therefore, your solution should have anti-bot capabilities to continually monitor outgoing traffic and identify malicious communications. If an infection is detected, it should block the traffic, remediate the risk, remediate the attack, and isolate the compromised machine. Your solution should offer virtualized patching with IPS technology against newly discovered vulnerabilities in your browser. Number two, phishing protection. Users may inadvertently visit phishing sites or impersonated corporate cloud applications, putting your organization at risk. The internet access solution, it must scan all forms, password boxes in real time to protect from zero-day phishing, spear phishing, whaling and impersonation attacks, and ideally conduct heuristic analysis driven by AI to prevent increasingly sophisticated phishing attacks. Number three, data loss prevention. Secure internet access solution you choose should include DLP capabilities, allowing you to set custom policies that automatically prevent employees from sending sensitive information via the internet, outside corporate systems, and sanctioned SaaS applications. It should have content awareness capabilities, enabling it to track and control sensitive data movements via web browsing and file sharing services such as Dropbox, WhatsApp Web, Facebook Messenger. Content awareness capabilities, allowing you to automatically identify and block the sharing of sensitive information such as credit card numbers, social security numbers, intellectual property or medical records, or whatever you deem critical for your enterprise. Credential theft, number 4. For convenience of business flows, users often reuse passwords across multiple websites. While their intentions may be honest, the reuse of corporate passwords on unauthorized or non-business sites puts organizations at great risk. A single compromise can gain threat actors access to your business accounts and potentially hundreds of corporate assets. You should prevent users from putting their corporate credentials into any external website and alert immediately if a user accidentally does. And number 5, access control. So while the shift to working from home, over 68% of workers admit using their corporate device for some personal use as well. Adult websites, gambling platforms often hide malware or phishing scams. Therefore, we need to offer URL filtering capabilities. Now, URL filtering identifies malicious websites by category, users, groups, machines, and it blocks malicious URLs from loading on a company network. In addition, filtering allows a security administrator to set up blacklists and block lists for entire URL categories, thus ensuring a safe and productive browsing experience for everyone. The solution should identify and control activities, such as uploading or downloading files to a specific file share, and should be able to identify and block the usage not only of applications such as torrents and PTPs and VPNs, but of specific actions by specific users who are using those applications. Lastly, number 6, zero trust network access. Now we should micro-segment the network across your entire IT infrastructure and across private and public cloud and corporate network environments. This is so that in the event of a breach, the threat can easily be contained and isolated. We must enforce compliance, protect our workloads, now detect and automatically remediate misconfigurations. That could be in our DevOps pipeline, or it could be in firewall updates. We should grant access to your data only to authorized users and only after their identities have been strictly authenticated. This means we need to integrate with a broad range of providers such as Azure AD, Ping, or Okta. We need to enforce data management, categorization, and classification, track and control data movements, and encrypt all data, whether at rest or in transit. If we adopt an API by default approach, we will ensure automation and orchestration in everything we do. And we need to deploy a single management console for delivering unified policies that underpin everything we do in a hybrid world. So in summary, the future is hybrid. It's here to stay. Remote working does increase cyber risk. However, if you implement a cloud-converged network and security solution, you're able to do that and manage that risk. Secure hybrid working is achievable. Implementation can be rapid and doesn't need to be complex, but it's essential that you engage a proper SASE partner, somebody who provides converged technologies and can guide you in every step along the way. Well, thank you very much for watching this presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to get in touch if you've got any direct questions or follow-ups. Thank you very much.